The question of the day is, have you ever been friend zoned? The answer from me is I definitely have a lot of times. A lot of times. Some of them, it depended on the factor. Like, it wasn't just she wasn't interested or I was just too friendly. It was so many different factors. So many. And we're going to get into that. But I want to I want to know how often it is and the main reason. Now, when I say some of the factors, here are some factors where somebody can friend zone you, not necessarily because they only see you as a friend. The thing I did a lot, and I think I'm gonna continue to do as I get older. I don't know, and my wording might be bad, but it seems like I like to be cool with dudes that get a lot of women or deal with a lot of women. So naturally, if you're cool with a dude that gets a lot of women, I'm talking about easily, like the average dude, he struggles. The dude I'm talking about, or the dudes I'm talking about, women are just naturally attracted to them. They're what they say conventionally attractive, and they know how to talk. Like they're the full package for a lot of women, tall, dark, handsome, all that stuff. I'd be cool with dudes like that. So naturally, they deal with a lot of women, and we all know whatever town you're in, it don't matter what town you're in, the world is small, okay? And a lot of the times I'd be cool with these dudes, and it most likely it'd be in the workplace. It'd be at work. So I'll find a woman attractive. He already dealt with it before, or he was thinking about it, or he already is in the motion of dealing with this woman. So naturally, she can't date both of us. I mean, she could, but it's gonna make her look crazy. But it always falls back to they can't because of, hey, how you doing? Good morning. It always falls back to they don't want to mess with me because they don't want to look crazy. You see what I'm saying? Because if you work at a place, it's going to be a small group of people that are naturally attractive or a younger group that probably deal with each other. They hang outside of work. And I was always in that group. And since not so aggressive when I'm dealing with somebody, he was more on the aggressive side. So he would get there first and then I would lose. That's just it's how it is. So being friend zone ain't always I'm not attracted to you or I only see you as a friend. It's plenty of reasons. It's so many different factors that a lot of people don't talk about, but it hurts so bad knowing that you're attracted to somebody and they don't want to take it to the next step. It's sad. And nobody's safe. As I said before, women can get friend zone, men can get friend zone. Who gets friend zone more? It nat we would say men, we would like to say men, but I think it might be even. And the reason I say that is since I was cool with dudes that get a lot of women, he got to pick and choose how far he wanted to take it with these women because he had options. Most dudes don't have that, but I seen it firsthand. Like they would go the whole 9 yards, they'll do whatever, and then he'll be like, "Yeah, but I like this one," or "She's cooler," or "I'd rather deal with her." Now, besides that, have I got friend zone? Like, has it been like a natural state? I also have happened. It has happened where women just see me as friends. Because what I learned is you can admire somebody, you can like talking to them, you can have a connection. But if you know a little bit too much about somebody after a while, when they just tell you too much, you might not want to take it that far. Because on the flip side, there are women that I can't really say friend zone because I don't know if they like me like that. But the longer you talk to somebody and you can kind of be yourself, you're probably gonna say a little bit too much. Things you're not supposed to say and not tell them. And sometimes they would say a little bit too much, and telling somebody too much too soon is bad. And it's always easier to just put somebody like right next to you where you don't kick them out of your life completely. They're still around, but because if you're friends with somebody, there's something that you like about them. There's some good energy coming back, or you're able to vent to this person. It's something that wants you to, connect with this person on a regular basis. So that is why friend zones even exist because it's something about this person that you like, but you don't want to take it to the next level. And it's called friend zone because naturally, this is my opinion. I always go back to thousands and thousand years ago in order to reproduce, you're supposed to like connect with the opposite sex, not naturally just be cool with them. And I think as options come along, you're like, okay, this person's cool, but then I don't want to just get rid of them. And not saying you're leading this person on, you're definitely not leading them on, but you don't, you're not 100% like, you want to still deal with this person, long story short. And as time go on, as options keep coming up, friend zones are going to keep coming, and I think it happens most at the workplace. I think 100%. Because I'm seeing this more and more. When I started this new job, like, I learned back in the day that a lot of relationships start at work, but that is about to get cut out because when you start a new job, every once in a while they'll have like sexual harassment conversations and stuff like that. And when you keep hearing that stuff, you don't even want to talk to the opposite sex anymore because you don't want to lose your job. You don't want to lose your main source of income because you thought you had like choosing signals from somebody, like you think somebody's interested in you. Come to find out, they're just being nice because we're at work and they're trying to pass the time. And one day you have the courage to take it that extra step, you know what I'm saying? And like actually say something, and it blows up in your face. And not only do you lose a friend, a cool coworker, you also potentially lose your job because if you stare too long, if you say something that they don't like or they get offended, if you are a little bit too flirtatious, they can easily just say that they feel uncomfortable, and that's it. And that can happen on both sides, but obviously, most cases it be women, having uncomfortable time with men co-workers because the men take it too far. Exactly. Wait, what do you mean it's hard to trust somebody? What you mean by that? As far as like taking it to the next level? Yeah, there's gonna be less people connecting at work now because you got to know for sure this person is interested in you. For sure. 100%. Do not risk it because that's your money, man. And that goes to show like people are willing to risk it all for love because you're when you're at work, if you work 40 hours or certain people only work on the weekends for 12-hour shifts, like it just feels like work consumes you. It's all of your time because whether you work 3 days or 5 days out the week, one of those free days that you get is gonna be a rest day where it's like it doesn't even matter. You're just trying to get your energy back up for the next time. So most of the time, you are gonna, fall in like with somebody that you work with. I think it's natural, but it's not even worth the risk anymore. Yeah, but if you don't trust them, are they really your friend? I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just if I can't trust you, I can't be in a relationship with you or your friend. What is that called when you're cool with somebody? Associates. You're just being friendly to people. Why do you say that though? Has anybody ever double crossed you in any type of way where you can't be, it makes you second guess being friends with other people? Because I definitely, my trust is very slim now. It's slim, but I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I always give people let 100% respect and 100% trust at the beginning. And the things that we go through after a while, you either knock it down or you build it up. But it's hard for me to just make somebody else pay for other people wrongdoing, if that makes sense. And I don't know, man. I really think the friend zone thing it's gonna get worse. It's definitely gonna get worse. Oh, that's what you mean? But do you still have friends though? Are you still making friends even though you're very cautious? You can't it's just hard because as you go through life, you're gonna deal with things that make you second guess stuff, but you're still supposed to live. And other people doing wrong to you or doing you wrong, new people shouldn't have to deal with that. I feel like in the back of your mind, you should still, you know, be prepared, but I don't think other people should have to deal with what other people did to you, if that makes sense. Hopefully, if that makes sense. And keep in mind, this is delayed, so this might be 15 seconds after you sent the text. So I don't know if you know what I'm saying? Yeah, keep trying. You don't give up because I don't care what anybody says. I know sometimes you do want to just be cool with people and not take it to the next step with the relationship, but don't nobody want to be lonely. Nobody wants to be lonely. I say this every day, all the time, because the internet, people come on the internet acting like they're cool with being alone. If you truly was cool with being alone, you wouldn't even say it out loud. You would just do it. So this internet era is pushing us farther away from more people, but dating and all that stuff, you're always going to have an urge and energy to deal with, date and have companionship. And I think that's why people play it safe. Friend zone is a safe space, and also having pets. I feel like a pet is never going to do you wrong. That's it. I mean, until the pet is no longer here, but until then, it's pure love, harmony. Y'all just you can't go wrong with a pet. I ain't gonna lie. Exactly. We all need each other. Need is a strong word, but I agree 100%. I feel like that vulnerability, people don't want to be vulnerable anymore. They don't want to take chances with love. So the easiest thing to do is act like you don't care and act like you don't need anybody. I don't know if you've seen I Am Legend, with Will Smith. If you haven't, check it out. Being lonely can drive you crazy. When you're in prison, one of the consequences, or I can't even think of the word, but solitary confinement is something that you get when you get in trouble. Them taking you away from other prisoners, other people that are dangerous. You get taken away from them and you get put by yourself. And that's how you get disciplined in prison. One of the reasons. Never been there, but movies and stuff, you see it all the time. But have you ever been friend zone, Plushy? Have you ever been friend zone? Oh, because need and want, I say need is a strong word because wanting something and needing something is just two different things. Like, yeah, that's a good movie. Shout out to Will Smith. I say need is a strong word because you need food and water. You need stuff like that. Wanting is kind of like, it's just more of a choice. That's why I say it's strong. And when I say it's a strong word, that doesn't mean I disagree with you. I'm just saying it's a strong word. It definitely is. It's something when you say need, it might like rub people the wrong way. Like, what do you mean? I don't need you. I want you. So strong word doesn't mean I disagree. It's just a strong word. But you haven't answered the question yet. Have you been friend zone? Because I think I've been friend zone about probably like I don't want to over exaggerate. I've been friend zone like the natural way, where it's like I'm cool with a girl. It was no other factors involved. It wasn't because she dated one of my friends or something. I've been friend zone probably like 4 or 5 times. I've been interested in women about like a different women 4 or 5 times, and I've been friend zone because I wasn't her type, or she just didn't see me that way, or too much information was transferred where she just wasn't interested. It was over with. She was like, "No, I'm good," and I respected it. In none of those times did I feel any type of way. It hurts, but when somebody says, "I just want to be cool with you," you just got to take that and you got to take it on the chin. Oh, you have been. Oh, okay. So this is relatable for you. You have been friend zoned. Yeah, it's a terrible feeling when you finally connect with somebody. You finally think you found that person, and they're like, "I'm cool." Um, I think it makes you feel a little bit better if there are factors involved, like if she just can't deal with you because she's going through a lot, or you know, she can't deal with you because she's in a relationship, things like that. Yes, people. But okay, you said not only that you can get used and be put in somebody's back pocket. Correct. So there are different ways where people can friend zone you. So if you're dealing with somebody that's mature and stuff like that and knows what they want, and they're very polite and they're a nice person, yeah, they're gonna come out and be like, I just want to be your friends. But you also can deal with people like you just said that can lead you on. Act like give you little hints of, okay, maybe just wait a little longer, we could be in a relationship. Funny enough, I think I may be wrong, but I think dudes deal with that a little bit more. Even though, in my opinion, women are a little bit more mature when it comes to that, like knowing what they want. Not necessarily mature, but I feel like they'll be more open with, I just want to be cool most of the time. But I think dudes deal with that more because the average dude, he'll see a woman hone in and actually want to be with the woman. And where women have a little bit more options. So if they come across a good dude and friend zone him, they don't, deep down they know it's a good dude. They know, okay, this is a potential husband, stuff like that. So they'll not want to just kick you out because even though women got a lot of options, they also know just because you have a lot of options doesn't mean they're all good options. That does not mean every dude you come across. What is bread crumbing? I don't know what that is. Bread crumbing. What is that? I don't know. You gotta explain that to me. Like I said, you gotta remember I'm a little older, so oh, I think I know what you mean. Well, they'll put breadcrumbs and have you follow them. Am I right? That happened to me before, definitely. I never forget, man. Quick story. This very gorgeous woman started working at the grocery store with me. Oh, okay. Yeah, you agree with me. You think it happens to males more. No, this girl, it happened to me where this girl kind of kept leading me on. I'm talking about she was very attractive. She was attractive. Um, and I don't really look at looks because it doesn't mean everything, but she was conventionally attractive. I think that's what they say. She started working at the job. I never forget, didn't talk to her. She was in orientation with me. And we was just, getting to know the job or whatever. And, I noticed her. Women are good at noticing and not making it noticeable. Well, men are not. Exactly. Yes. They don't be in. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. And they eventually, me and her started having a conversation because me and her got it off at the same time because we started, the position at the same time. And, the city is very small. So will I sound like a creep if I say this? Yes, leading people on is cruel. It's terrible. But the reason why me and this girl started talking is because me and her was leaving at the same time, and I noticed she was at the bus stop. She went to the bus. She ran to the bus, I think. So I'm going that way anyway. So I kind of stop at the bus, and I'm a familiar face. I'm not some random dude. So I was like, "Hey, you need a ride home?" And I think just being around me with orientation and all this stuff, she was comfortable. So she let me take her home. We talked. It was cool. As time went on, more and more, I started to catch feelings and stuff like that. And I'm talking about we did stuff, we hung out, all that stuff. And it was like she always hinted, "Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning." She always hinted at dealing, like giving me a chance. But as we started talking, she was still dealing with her ex, I guess, or still had feelings for him, probably still dealing with him. So she gave me the vibe where you wait a little bit longer, I still have feelings for him. I'm not ready to date again. And I'm talking about I waited and I waited. And I'm talking about it took forever. And I think one of the times when I finally kind of like fell back, we were sitting in the car one day and I was expressing how I feel. And I was like, yeah, I can't keep hanging out with you because I actually like you. She kissed me. How are you going to kiss me when you know that I like you? And at that time, I figured she don't really like me like that. And I respected it. But I was trying to communicate with her, even at my young age. I was like, I think I was still a teen. I was like 19. And I think she was around the same age. But the point, no, I think she was a little older. But the point is, I expressed to her, I was like, "Yeah, I can't be cool with you anymore because I actually like you." And then she kissed me, like a TV show or something. Like I, it felt like a movie scene. And after that, naturally, we started hanging out a little bit more because I thought I had a chance. And as time went on, she stopped working at the job. We kind of fell off, and I was like, I'm talking about time wasted. I'm talking about months of me only focusing on her, spending time with her, liking her a lot, and it was all for nothing. It was sad. Yes, exactly. It confused me even more, and it was like she was really good at she was really good at leading me on, and it was the first time I ever felt led on in my life. Exactly. She just liked the attention. She, I do agree with you. She just liked the attention. I also felt like what I said earlier, she knew I was a decent dude, and most women, I feel like all the options y'all have, like 80% of the dudes be terrible. Like all the dudes that y'all are interested in be terrible. So I think by comparison, I was a decent dude. But and I feel like when you have a good person in your life, you hear it all the time. You keep that good person in your life. You don't want to get rid of a good person because the more people you deal with, the more you understand rare people are I mean, good people are rare. So I felt like she knew I was a decent dude. I wasn't, I always try to make sure she was comfortable and stuff like that. And she just wasn't interested, which was fine. And that is a fact too. Some people like their ego stroke. That is a fact. Some people are navigating life based off what they see on TV only. That's a fact. That's a fact. And I may be wrong, and I'm this is not a sexist thing, but I noticed that a lot of women love like romantic films and stuff like that. And these TV shows with 20 seasons, 1,000 episodes of love stories, getting back together, breaking up, all this like women like that stuff. So I think yeah, that I do agree with that. I can't watch that stuff for too long. I can't because it's like it just feels like it's like a repetitive thing. But you made a good point though. Spiritual awakening, that's a fact. Some people do like to just get attention. That's all they want. And if you're that person, and like I said, this can happen on both sides. Where if you're that person that you really like this person, you're going to give them all the attention, and if you get all you need is a little hope of changing this person's mind, you're going to give this person all the attention they need. It's not a good example for the woman. uh yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all think like, do y'all still believe in like fairy tale love? Do y'all still believe in that, or you feel like that's over with? Do you feel like there's still like a man out there particularly for you and he will treat you right? Do you believe in that? Because I understand like younger people in general believe in they got a whole bunch of time. Eventually, they're going to meet this person that they taught. Yeah, that's a good. I think a lot of people enjoy that toxic. They love that. It- we can't lie though. That toxic stuff is it's enjoyable. It's fun, and I'm not saying like it's a good thing. But wait, what are you saying no to? No what? Oh, you're saying my bad. I forgot this is delayed. You're saying no that you don't believe in it anymore? Oh, you can't give up on love though. You can't. That was my fault. I forgot this is delayed. You were saying no to the question I had. I'm still new to this. I'm still a rookie. Please forgive me. But spiritual awakening, you believe it? That's good. Don't I feel like there's somebody for everybody, but I think a lot of the times we meet people at the wrong time. Now, if you're lucky enough to come across this person again, that's fantastic. But no, oh, okay, okay, use it. I agree. As long as you keep God in the center, yeah, y'all both have to believe that. Y'all both have to believe. Well, not necessarily. You both have to believe. I can't really say that neither. I can't say that. But that's a whole nother topic. I ain't gonna lie. But I do agree with you, spiritual awakening. But plushy plushy gamer. No, we got to change that. They're not necessarily the fairy tale part, because yeah, you're not supposed to believe in fairy tale, but there is somebody out there for you. You have to, you gotta first of all, you gotta put yourself out there. You gotta give the people the opportunity to even find you. Um, it looks like internet is one of those things. That's kind of the thing where you find people now because people are they're put away. Like ain't nobody outside as much as they used to, and I believe it. I understand why people are not being outside just as much because even though I don't believe it's more dangerous than it was before, it's dangerous out there. and it's a lot of weirdos on both sides. Spiritual awakening. Have you ever been friend zone? I don't think you answered yet. Every we have. We definitely have. Matter of fact, have y'all ever friend zoned somebody? And if you did friend zone somebody, why'd you do it? That's a great question. If you have friend zoned somebody, I want to know. Put it in the comments. If you friend zoned somebody, why did you do it? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. As long as both of y'all have your own relationship with God. Yeah, I understand what you were saying. I just had to think about it for a second. Because I always like I don't like just to say yes to stuff. Like I actually be want to think of it. Oh, you do got. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. I'm sorry, I shouldn't assume that you didn't have somebody. Oh yeah, okay, okay. That's my fault. I don't know why I assumed. You know, that's good. That's good that you found somebody. But that's good. That's wonderful. But if y'all did friend somebody, if y'all did friend zone somebody, why did you do it? I want to know, like one of your reasons why you friend zone somebody. Was it because things were happening in your life where you couldn't really deal with a relationship? Was it because they was everything you wanted, but not you didn't want to take it to the next step? Was it because you dated one of their friends already? Like all that stuff plays a factor. It is not always straight to the point. You're cool, but not that cool. Like how they be showing it on TV shows and stuff. It's a lot of different factors. I think the one that hurts the most is when there isn't any factors and the person just straight up says, "I'm not interested in you in that way." That's the one that'll make you sad because now you start, you feel insecure, you feel like you're not enough. And then it makes it even worse when they say no to you and say yes to somebody else that you know or somebody that's close. Not or somebody like if you notice, like you go online and you see that they're in a relationship now. Oh, okay. Because I thought the relationship would not fail if we were friends first. You always got to be friends first because that honeymoon stage, if you go straight into the relationship and you do that, honeymoon stage, that fake stuff where you're, every both of y'all are putting y'all best foot forward and hoping, you know what I'm saying? That's all nonsense. That honeymoon stage is to me just as toxic as anything else bad in a relationship because if you're friends with somebody you get the opportunity to like see them in all seasons, see how they act, see how they act when things ain't going right in their life, like see what's really about them. That gives them, you're able to get comfortable with a person. Because the scariest thing is friend zoning somebody to me is just like a breakup. And a lot of people don't know how to handle any type of, you know, um, getting turned down, any type of rejection. People don't know how to handle that. So, friend zoning somebody is kind of like the first step of rejection, but it's not as deep as a breakup because there is not like a strong, strong connection. Yeah, exactly. No one ever wants that. Yeah, yeah, no. And if you're referring to nobody ever wants to be friends first, I agree with you. Now, keep in mind, my bad if I yeah, exactly. People always want to rush. People mind, I apologize because I'm trying to go on my own rant and come back to the comments. So my bad if I keep asking you what you mean because it's also delayed. So I apologize. But yeah, people always want to rush. Why do people want to rush into relationships though? Because I am people. I friend zoned someone because the intimacy wasn't there. We were better as friends. When we became intimate, it became awkward. Oh, that's a hey. So you wait, so you friend zoned them. You friend zoned them, y'all because the intimacy wasn't there. We were better as friends. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just reading it in out of order, but yes, that is a good point. If I'm picking up what you're reading, I mean what you wrote down, I see what you're saying. So that is a good point though. So like you could have all the connection with somebody, but as far as like the sexual, the intimacy, the like the that extra step, it may not just be there. It may not be. That is a good point. Spiritual awakening. That is a great point. But plushie gamer, yes, you're everybody wants to rush. I wonder why people want to rush into it. Now it could be I would think women, and like I said, I don't want to separate men and women, I feel like as a whole, it's the same thing. But I think a lot of times women want to rush because women feel like they're running out of time, like their time is limited. And society always tells women you got to get married at this point, or you're going to be old and by yourself. So I think that's why. Yeah, that's a if I ain't gonna lie, if anybody tries to rush me to do anything, I'm a second guess it. I'm gonna be like, why are you rushing me? Why can't we just take our time? That's a good point. But yeah, I think a lot of women um kind of like are big on timing. That's why they want to rush it, especially if they finally find somebody. Oh, okay. So y'all was friends first, became intimate, and then you put him back. Oh, I know that hurt for him. I know because it's one thing for a woman to be like, the sexual stuff wasn't it, but it's another thing for her to give you a chance and you fail, and then y'all are just cool. Man, I know that had to hurt. Yeah, I'm a reader. You finna tell me about a book? I definitely, hey, send me a book my way. I definitely will read it. But yeah, spiritual awakening. Yeah, I know that crushed him. I'm not trying to make you feel bad because that was your choice, but that would have hurt me. And I'm trying to think if that ever happened to me, and I'm sure it did. I just didn't know it. Yeah, I'm sure a woman gave me a chance. I failed, and then she was like, "Yeah, let's just be cool." And yeah, she probably just didn't tell me. She probably just went back to the motions. Yeah, that hurt just reading that. Sheesh. Taking some be put somebody in the friend zone. Wait, be cool with somebody, give them a chance, and then put them back in the friend zone. Mm. Are you still cool with this person? Obviously, you ain't got to say no name, spiritual awakening, but are you still cool with this person? And plushy gamer, yeah, I like reading. I don't mind it, especially if it's a good book. I definitely, yeah, I'm a movie guy, and I'll read a good book because sometimes the book be better than the movie whenever they make a book into a movie. But yeah, friend zoning is a terrible thing, and I wish it didn't exist, but it will always exist because just because you connect with somebody doesn't mean it's going to be a relationship. That's why I'll rather just be cordial with a woman than be put in the friend zone because even if she's not trying to lead me on, I'm gonna feel like she's leading me on. I'm just gonna feel that way because she knows 9 times out of 10 she knows how I feel because I'm gonna tell her because I don't want to be a creep. Men are from Mars, women from Venus. That's an actual book. I might have to look that up. Hopefully, it's a not an audio book, but something. I forgot what it's called. Where it's like an app where you can read off the app because that'll be quicker than me waiting on the book. Eventually, I do want to have a room full of books. But okay, I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind. I'm gonna check that out. Don't send me no weak book. It better be good, especially if I gotta sit and read it. That's good. Dang, spiritual awakening. That's crazy. I ain't gonna that's got me thinking. I'm sure that happened to me. Maybe it didn't happen. I don't think a woman ever, if she put me in a friend zone, I think I was just there. I think I'm just there. I also think people friend zone people. Can it be like an insecure thing? You friend zone somebody, like you just since you know so much about them, it may make you feel insecure. Like it can be dudes that like really interested in a woman, but seeing how intelligent she is and how driven she is and how ambitious she is. So he's like, yeah, I can't keep up with her. I'd rather just be cool with her. And I'm sure on the flip side, it could be a woman where she meet a dude that is like the same thing. Like his life is just going well and he's constantly building. And she probably like, yeah, he don't even need me. Like, what do you need me for? Oh, okay. Y'all both, it was a mutual thing. Okay. He married with 3 kids. Well, if it was mutual, That's cool. It sounds like it was two mature people that tried something, it didn't work out, and y'all, we kept it moving. That's cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. 3 kids is crazy though. That's a lot of kids. But yeah, okay. And if y'all still communicate with each other, that's cool too. Some people, there's always exceptions to the rule, even though it would be hard for me to like be cool with a woman, just strictly friends. It's always exceptions to the rule. I'm sure there's women in my life that I was just super cool with and on a different level, and it was like maybe that's better off. Like, and I think we always talking about the benefit, who gets more of a benefit, the man or the woman, when it's a friendship. And I'm contradicting myself too, because I always thought women get more of a benefit. But I think it would be also good too if a man had a woman where he can come to and be like, this is what's going on in my relationship. Am I wrong? Is she wrong? Because now you're getting a different perspective. If you're a man going to another man about dating another woman, he's most likely only going to see it from your side. He's not going to be able to like really get in depth and like understand. And when you're asking a woman about another woman, she'll understand. She'll probably like give you a little insight on, not saying all women think the same, but it would just be a different perspective that it may be good. Like might be a great perspective, a wonderful perspective. If you're having a good time, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. But yeah, friendship is with the opposite sex could be a good thing. Especially if you're like spiritual awakening said, if you're married with children, you're gonna have ups and downs with your wife. And not saying the wife, you know, she has to be okay with y'all being cool, but it would be nice. Yeah, exactly. And it's good that there's no hard feelings because even though y'all situation was good, I'm telling you, people don't handle rejection that well, whether it's being friend zone or breakups. People don't. Because a lot of the times people like are very invested in somebody, and when the person be like they're kind of done with this situation, now you got to flip your life around. Okay, out of respect, y'all only speak through social media. That's good. That's good. That's good. Out of respect, that's wonderful. But it's still good that y'all cordial. It always could be worse. Man, humanity needs more open communication, less judgment, compassion, and loyalty. Respect too, but I'm just adding respect for myself. But that is facts. That is what happened to us. Why are people so judgmental? Like and I used to see it with parents, like the parents will forget they was a child and did stupid stuff. Like even parents towards their children or, coworkers versus coworkers or people at school with each other. It's always a competition. It's always judging somebody. Like we're not all human beings making mistakes. Like one of the mistakes, a woman probably put me in a friend zone as a mistake. That's a joke, but we make mistakes. Everybody does, and it's like to your point, plushy gamer. Do you think it's just a lack of vulnerability? Like people don't want to be vulnerable anymore. People are too busy trying to seem perfect. Too busy trying to give off this image, like play a character where they won't get hurt. I think it always comes down to people not wanting to get hurt anymore because love is like the strongest thing on earth. And it's like people will do anything to negate that and like push that away. You know what I mean? Like, so the communication part, the open communication, it seems like only time we communicate is saying what we don't like about something other than saying all good stuff. Man, most adults. And I wonder why adults treat younger people like garbage. I wonder, I you're making good points, both of, spiritual awakening and plushy gamer, like, because you got me thinking. And I'm not a big talker, but this is making me think because this is real stuff. Because I wonder, like, because when you're a child and like adults are, they seem bitter and very disrespectful, it's kind of like you have compassion and you're like, okay, maybe I'll understand it when I get older. But then when you become older and you become a parent and all this stuff, and you're like, I definitely don't see where they're coming from. But I think adults treat younger people like garbage. I think it's bitterness. I think of bad decisions they made and now they're dealing with it. That is weakness. If you did what spiritual awakening? You said I did. You did what? I ain't gonna lie. Um plushy, plushy gamer, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like if you put on a mask, let me if you put on a mask and you don't want to be vulnerable, it's a weakness. It's a weak and like you said, you grew up thinking it was a weakness. I don't know if you still think that, but I think that. Because the easiest thing to do is play a character. The easiest thing to do is put on a mask and try to seem perfect. It is difficult to like be your true self. Now, the benefit of being your true self is you don't like push out a lot of energy. So I feel like you drain your energy faster when you try to play a character. But when you're being yourself, like your true self, you will, it's you're using less energy. Um, it'll give you that like natural confidence because you're like, this is me. Now, to get to that point is not easy, but when you become your true self and stop playing a character and stop like adapting to other people's personality to figure out what you're gonna do and say, it feels great. And it took me years to get to this point, but when I finally got to this point, fantastic. Fantastic, best feeling in the world because yeah, it's bad. It's bad when you're playing a character and stuff like that. And I always felt like playing a character and stuff and doing all that stuff is the same thing as the honeymoon stage. And that's why it's good to be friends with somebody first. Being in the friend zone is bad, but if you guys are just going through steps, it's good to see that because you get rid of that mask. You can take that mask off the other person eventually, and eventually that person's become gonna become vulnerable. The honeymoon stage, it's a mask, lacking a lot of it is false confidence. Like you're acting like you got it all figured out, and then as time goes on this person acts like they got a great job, got money in the bank, super exciting, a lot of energy, and then as time go on, you figure out that person's the complete opposite. They was playing a character because they wanted you to be interested. And that's now that you say that, I think I got friend zoned a lot of times because I was like being my complete self. And I wasn't I feel like if I was playing a character and you know was all like that fake confidence, I probably would have attracted way more women. But I was vulnerable, not like crying every 5 seconds, but I would tell them the real about me though, not about them. I wouldn't say anything rude. When I'm vulnerable, I'm just telling you what it is because that when people are not like when people are playing a character, that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves. Because my biggest pet peeve, and I will say this every day for the rest of my life, when men act different around women, when men go from one personality to the next just because women are around. I don't like that. But my second pet peeve is people lacking vulnerability and not being themselves, especially if you're like older. Now, if you're 19 and 20-ish, you're in that range. I get it. You're playing a character because you're still trying to figure it out. You don't even know who you are yet. It takes years to figure that out because of the influence and all this other stuff. So by the time influence, people don't understand how strong that is, especially with the internet era. It's like you're getting influenced every day. A lot of these ideas you come with up with are not even yours. They feel like it, but you're watching 1,000 TikToks and 20 long form YouTube videos, YouTube shorts, chat GPT questions, and it's like what what are you though? And that's why I feel like I grew up in the perfect era for me because I would be lost at that. I don't even know who I was if I grew up in this era. If I grew up in the 2010s, 2000 era, well, I'm gonna say 2010s, I wouldn't even know who I was. I would just be walking around just yelling out memes. How old am I? First, I'm gonna let you guess. You can get a couple of guesses and then I'll tell you. But I'll give you a hint though. I'm in my 30s. And I do not mind saying how old I am because I'm proud of my age. So I'm gonna let you guess how old you think I am because I'm a little childish. I play a little bit too much. So I'm gonna let you guess, and then I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I thought I said it before, but the hint is I do have a video on my channel that says advice from a 30-year-old man. So that's I'm above 30. I'm not in my 20s. That's the only hint. I'm not giving you any other hint. But yeah, do y'all think people purposely friend zone people for also the ego? Yeah, you're right. I might have said it already, but yeah, I'm 35. I don't know if I should be offended by that or surprised that you got it right on the first try. 35, you're right though. I'm up there. I'm up there. Don't judge me though. Don't look at me different now that you all know I'm up there. I'm almost 40. But yeah, I I definitely. Oh, so you think people friends on people for ego? Yeah, I because ego was brought up and got me thinking like I I wouldn't even be surprised if people did it on purpose because it was like that's why I always try to do right as much as possible. Oh, okay. So we grew up around the same time. Well, I mean, close to the same time. So you understand where I'm coming from 100%. 100%. But yeah, ego, like that's why I said, like, oh, okay. Oh yeah. So we understand each other. We all understand each other 100%. But I think ego, that's why I love like people are just 100% honest because I'm able to be honest with you. If I'm having a conversation with somebody and I feel like they're playing a character or they're like playing too much or not being serious, then I'm gonna do the same thing. But it's nothing better than two people just being honest with each other. And when I say vulnerable, I'm not talking about tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about like not playing a character, not trying to give off a persona or anything. You're just being real. And the reason why I like that is I would love when people be like, and they don't owe me why they're friends on me. You don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe anybody an explanation. But I would love for people to be like, I'm friend zoning you because of my ego. That sounds crazy, but I'm friend zoning you because I want you around because you're a good dude, but I'm not in that. I don't want to deal with that type of dude yet. I want to have my fun. Things like that. But of course, it sounds crazy because nobody's gonna say that. Nobody's gonna be honest with you and be like, "Yeah, I know you're a good person, but I low key want you to wait for me until I'm ready to settle down. I want to have my fun. I like this type of dude right now, and you're a peaceful dude. You know what you want. You know what type of you're peaceful. You're not toxic. I don't want that right now. I think it was brought up earlier about a lot of women are not used to they're used to toxic and they're not really used to or they don't know how to appreciate a peaceful man. And that's the same thing. It goes both ways. I'm because it's toxic dude, it is toxic women too. So both sides can meet somebody at the wrong time and y'all are, you know, you want them to stay around though. It definitely is. But it definitely is the best policy, but it's not n- I was gonna say it's not normal, but it's rare. Like honesty, no. It that takes a lot of courage too, like telling somebody how you truly feel. And yes, time does reveal everything. And what we say earlier, well, what you said, I'm not gonna take you said that, I ain't say that. But you said people like to rush into things, and that is a fact. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I just came up with this now. And well, I didn't come up with it, but it just popped in my head. That may be one of the reasons why people rush because they know time reveals all. And they're like, let me get what I can out of this person before they figure out who I truly am. Or, yeah, so people, that might be another rush. Kind of like if a salesman is trying to hurry up and have you buy something, like he's rushing you into or peer pressuring you into buying something, is because if you wait long enough and actually think about it, you're like, oh, this is stupid. This is dumb. Why am I doing this? This is a stupid decision. So that's a good point. Time does reveal everything. Well, everything, another strong word, everything, because that is very true. That's true. If you wait long enough, you're gonna find out everything you need to know, and that's probably why people don't want to do the friend thing first. And another reason why I think people don't like to do the friend thing first, they like to just jump up over that, is because you don't want to get stuck in the friend zone. Like, I think sometimes you get put there, but what if you're cool with somebody for so long that that's all y'all know? And Spiritual Awakening said it earlier with her situation, that I appreciate you, telling the people something personal. It's like, what if you guys are cool for so long that it's, even if y'all had the in, intimacy was there, you couldn't even say the word. Even if it's there, it's like y'all been friends for so long. The longer y'all been friends, the harder it is to go to that next level. So, but I have heard stories where people was friends, they separate, they go to a different state, and then they come back, and then they end up being together. So it's possible. It's just it's that time thing. We None of us know how much time we have. So, that's also another reason why people rush, because you dealing with so many horrible people and all this stuff, and then you finally find somebody. It's hard to be like, yes, I finally found a good person that understands me. We have a connection, but let's be friends first. Let's not rush anything. That can't be an easy thing to do. That can't, especially in this day and age. We hear so many crazy stories and so many weirdos and stalkers and people, you know, the situation over with. So now the person crashing out and not wanting you to get on with your life. I hear so many, that alone. Any person that ever dealt with somebody where you break up with somebody and they don't know how to like just let it go. I don't know how you get into another relationship after that. I could not. You if I if I end it with a woman and she goes crazy and tries to show up at my job or busts up my car or shows up at my house, I probably would never date again, because I I would never date again, because I'm gonna keep reliving that. Also, if she even gives a hint of she got an attitude problem or something, I'm gonna think about the past. And I know, I think I said it earlier in the video. you sh- Other people shouldn't have to pay for what other people did to you, if that makes sense. It's like certain things, if they're traumatizing. Like, I don't see how people deal with a stalker and then go on with dating again. I couldn't. That's it. That I'll be one and done. So hopefully it never happens to me, because that can happen to anybody. Nobody's safe, because when you're in a relationship with somebody, if you're not on and on and off and on and off and on, if you're in a relationship with somebody and it's your first time dating, you don't know how they act when things go wrong, or when you know for a fact you're done with this person. You don't know. And I'm not trying to scare people by saying this, but you don't know. That's a scary thought. Like, people can straight flip out. I'm getting scared just thinking about it. Like, people can flip, and you think you know a person until you figure them. You see their bad side, and you're like, you don't want them in your life ever. You're done with this person, and that's why friendship is needed. Man, you got me contradicting myself, because I can't be friends with a woman, but it's like, I guess I can if I know it's going somewhere. But like that, oh, you're my best friend forever. I probably can't do that, because if I'm connecting with you in that way and we're just like certified, okay, let's just be friends, I'm probably gonna be like, okay, all the time I'm talking to you, all the time I'm spending with you, all the great conversations we have, I can be having that with somebody that actually wants to take it a step further. And same with them. If we're both single and we're just having the time of our life with each other, but we're like, but we're best friends though. Why not give that time to a potential mate, a significant other? Why? And that might be another thing with age. Maybe if when and I can't say maybe, but when I was younger, when I was teenager, of course I was cool with women, females, whatever you want to call it, of course. But it's like as you get older, it's like, what's the point? Now, said earlier, high school friends, that's different. If y'all knew each other your entire life, okay, I can see that. That's the exception. But no, I can't do it. I can't. I can't. I don't see how people just be like, "You're cool. We have a connection. We love each other's jokes. We can be ourselves around each other. Let's be cool." Even though friend zone is it's a being friend zone, that's a one-sided thing. I don't think that's a mutual thing. But I guess it could be. I guess y'all can friend zone each other, but the friend zone I'm talking about, Baby Reindeer, that series was based on a true story. The story follows Donnie's warped relationship with a female stalker and the impact it has on him as he is forced to face. Mm, you got me, Baby Reindeer. That's a okay. I got a book to look for, and wait, is that like a is that a book or is that a movie? Oh, oh, it's a series. Okay, 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 okay. I'm gonna have to check that out too. Oh, it's on Netflix too. Okay, perfect, perfect. I thought it was on like Hulu or Paramount or something. Cool. Netflix is I could deal with that. I know 100 everybody got, a lot of people I know got every single one of those. I can't keep up with all that. That's like $60 down the drain every month having all those. Even though I feel like Paramount has a lot of good stuff on there. Um, yeah, anytime I'm talking about something, please get me hip on some. It's a series though. How many episodes? Because I can't watch a whole bunch of episodes. I can't do it. The last series I watched was His and Hers on Netflix. That toxic relationship they had. And even then, when I watch series like that, it seems like Netflix tries to stretch it out as much as possible. So a lot of the episodes be worthless. You said reaction. If you're talking about reaction videos, I can't do that. I can't. I don't know what it is about reacting to stuff, but I can't. I just don't. I don't. How can I say this in the rudest way possible? I don't respect like reactions, like reaction channels and stuff like that. I'm big into like creating your own type of content. Now you can like talk about other people's ideas and talk about what you've seen and heard, but like reacting to stuff, it's just hard for me. Even if I like watched the series and went back, okay, dark comedy, perfect. Watching it, dark comedy drama. That sounds fantastic. 7 episodes. I'm gonna assume that they're 30 minutes to an hour long. I'm gonna check it out. I will definitely let you know as soon as I watch it. I'm gonna check it out because yeah, and I'm not like a binge watcher neither. Unless the last episode before that is like fantastic. It's hard because I'm a movie guy, and I feel like if you can condense an whole idea like 2 to 3 hours, the 3 hours is crazy. I feel like a 90-minute movie like condensed into like a whole idea, that is fantastic. I feel like having a series, that's like it's cheating a little bit. Okay, not a reaction, just my thoughts. I is that's not a bad idea. It's just I like to like create like timeless things. And sometimes when you do reactions, it's not timeless because not only my thought process can change, but as I get older, the thing I reacted to I might have a different perspective on it. So it's like I like making timeless stuff. That's why the whole channel, and you'll like if you look back, you don't even have to watch every video I made. But like the titles, I be trying to make timeless videos where anybody can come across my videos of any age, any gender. I don't care. Like you can watch it and be like, that's relatable. I've been through that. So it's like I know I'm, kind of going on a rant, but reaction, I just hate that word. Like I don't respect reaction channels and people that react to stuff. What's the idea? I'm all ears. I'm all ears. But I definitely appreciate y'all, spending time, you know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the conversation about, I need to make more positive topics. I know being friend zone is not the most positive topic, but I'm gonna come up with some positive topics. Okay. But every time I do come up with like a something that's fun and uplifting, it's like it's nothing deep about it. It's because 9 times out of 10, you learn from like not necessarily trauma, but like the bad stuff and the bad topics, what you learn from. So I like having conversations, learning and like going through stuff and not in like a dark way, but like I like flipping stuff. Yeah, it was negative, but it's actually a bright side to it. I don't know if there's a bright side of being friend zone unless you're dodging a bullet. You find out the person is not who that you thought they were, but definitely in the moment it's hurt your feelings. But I feel like there's always a flip side to most negative things that you go through in life. So you read a title of mine and be like, oh, he's gonna be negative, but it's like most of the time I'm not. I'll be trying to build up people's, you know, self-esteem, make them become confident in themselves. The more you deal with stuff, the more you deal with stuff head on, the more confident you'll be in yourself and actually like build character and become yourself. So that's why I be trying not. I swear I be trying not to come up with negative like topics. The next 3 days, they're all kind of negative, but so the stuff we bring up in live, we can go back to the community post area and talk about it there. For example, the book. Whenever we both read it, we can post thoughts on the community post. Wait, you didn't read the book? Don't, am I reading that right? You said when we both read it. So you haven't read it yet. So it's on you though. If that book is bad, because if there might have been a typo, but assume that you read the book already. I'm still gonna check out the book, but I'm saying it better be good because I'm thinking you're like letting me in on a fantastic book, like giving me a hidden gem or something. But yes, I agree. I did all that ranting just to say yes. I agree. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I'm definitely because I'm you talking about community. I definitely want to build a community of people that are willing to think, willing to be vulnerable, willing to be themselves as much as possible. And I'm not talking about telling me your business, your darkest secrets. I'm just saying, like, just being real. The internet has a place for that. Let this be the place. Well, I mean, even if it's not that, even if it's this is not the place, I just love to see it. I love when people just be real with themselves. Because the minute you look at yourself in the mirror and actually start, oh, okay, okay. The minute that you start like looking at yourself in the mirror, yes, you'll start building up. You start building yourself, and it'll be a wonderful time. It'll be a wonderful time. But I'm gonna end it here. Like I said, I appreciate your time. I will. Oh, you will read it. No, I'm tripping. I don't know why. Like I thought reading a book was like watching a movie. Of course, when you read a book, you're not gonna remember everything. It's not like scenes in a movie. Because it's a couple of books that I love, but reading it again, it felt like I was reading it for the first time because I didn't remember any of it. I remember the plot. Uh, dang, I forgot what series it was. Exactly. No, I don't mean trauma dumping. I don't. Even if somebody like happened to come in here and say they was going through stuff, I wouldn't shame them for it. But I want at least 90% of the people that I communicate with online to understand. I'm not talking about trauma dumping. I'm not talking about anything sad. But it's like I'm open to hear it. But it's like I'm not a professional therapist, so I'm not gonna be able to help you. I'm probably gonna have like some, kind words to say, but nothing deep. But yeah, like it's cool to like find decent people online just to be real. We all need that safe space. They're talking about a safe space. This can be the safe space. But yeah, I'm gonna check the book out. I'm tripping. I don't know why I assumed that you was remember every word of the book. Then you're telling me about it. I don't know why I thought that. But I definitely appreciate your time. Same time tomorrow, whether you show up or you don't. I still appreciate every time you give me your time. That means a lot because you could be anywhere else. It's a thousand things to do in this world. Spending time, having a conversation, it's something to appreciate because you don't get it everywhere. But hit the like button if you made it this far, whether you watched it live or you watched it on the watch back. I go live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. I stay on there as long as possible to talk. If somebody's willing to talk, I'm willing to listen, and vice versa. Hopefully, they're willing to listen to me talk. Have a fantastic day. Don't say you're not having one. Have a fantastic day. Say it out loud. Have a good day